Shalom, Yashala, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahweh. I do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yashar Allah. Call Haloyam La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai Bahasham Harakak Wadash for blessing our elders with the spirit of truth so that we may know. Shout out to the Akim and the Akwaf that's keeping the faith and the work. Y'all keep at it. It's your brother Abaya coming at you with more precepts. It's Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? This earth is being ran by wicked individuals. Scripture gives us exactly who these wicked individuals are. Notice that the scripture said, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? Malachi chapter 1 and verse 2. I have loved you, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith Yahweh. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever. Right? Esau Edom. Esau Edom is in control of this earth. Esau Edom is the wicked. Right? So whenever we hear about individuals that have secret meetings and different individuals that are behind the scenes that are really, running things, that's who it is, because the Most High made it so. Right? Let me see. Let me go to Psalms 83. And Salah, 1 second. Psalms 83 and verse 1. A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Right? They are in power. Right? They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And the first nation mentioned is the tabernacles of Edom. Right? The wicked. Amalek being really the top in Esau Edom. But Esau Edom nonetheless. So I'm gonna let this video play and I'll be back. Fair use. Right? You gotta say fair use for whatever reason. But yeah, Fair Use Act.
I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out who they are, right? When it comes to all of these things that continue to be imposed on us and all of the censorship. And, it's like, it feels like because it's such, because it's happening and it doesn't seem like it doesn't seem random, right? It seems like there is an agenda, and we all get censored whenever we're speaking up against a particular thing. And it seems like there's this agenda, but so then, of course, it causes us to think, well, then there's this, some cabal sitting in some smoky room, planning and plotting, and then they go and give directives. I know that's how it feels, but I don't know if that's actually what's happening. I mean, it's less likely that that's actually happening, but instead something else, some other phenomenon has happened, which is, I don't know if it's just, because it's like, who's at the top that's making this decision that, hey, Don, you're not allowed to question the Mexican-American War.
Now she's answering her own question. Who can you not speak on in this world? Right? If you create content and in that content, if you mention a certain nation of people, what happens to your videos? Those things get taken down. Right? Whose nationality can you question, and censorship comes behind it, right? Or strikes on videos or channels being taken down. Who can you not speak on? Those are the individuals that's in charge, right? Psalms 94:20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law, right? The fellowship, the throne of iniquity shall not have fellowship with us, right? These wicked individuals. Verse 21, they gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood, right? So, yeah, it's starting off with, you create content, you get strikes, but it's going to eventually get way worse because Scripture says it will. Let me see, I think it's Revelation. Slow out 1 second. Revelation 20:4, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua and for the word of power, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Right, so it's gonna get bad, right?
You're not allowed to question the Civil War. How dare you? Who's at the top, like making that decision? I don't know if there is a person at the top. It's almost like this brain, like a mass psychosis, like a consent that is just, because I can imagine the park service person that says, you know what, we will allow you to exhume this body. And then of course the boss comes around and is like, what in the world were you thinking? How could you allow this? Right. Well, then who told the boss to say, how can you allow this? And it's just this chain of almost just I would think, I'm having a difficult time explaining, but I almost think it's some sort of it's psychological. I don't know if there's really anybody at the top telling people you're not allowed.
Of course, there are people at the top, but these are the individuals that control your media. These are the individuals that control your music. Right? These are the individuals that control your movies, control your TV shows. Why else do you think every other TV show, especially if it pertains to so-called blacks, is full of drama? Right? Full of gang activity, full of murder, right? Full of married people sleeping with each other, full of rainbow coalition individuals. Right? It's because of who's at the top and the mindset that they want to create. Right? Revelation chapter 17 and verse 1. There came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither. I will shew unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. Right? The daughter of Babylon, which is ran by Esau Edom, that changes the mindset of the people of the earth and has the world drunk with the wine of her fornication, has the world drunk with corruption, drunk with wickedness, drunk with sin, right? Drunk with everything unrighteous, right? And it tries to hide out in the shadows.
Allowed to question this. You're not allowed to, these are the things that are off limits. It's more of just like a mass psychosis, like a mass formation psychosis type phenomenon where people think that this is wrong, so therefore I have to crack down on this, even though there's nobody really telling them to. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that? Like, where is this coming from?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. But I think that, there are indications. Again, I think there's a group at the top. I mean, a lot of people have called them the Illuminati. We know the Illuminati, for instance, Crimes and Cover-Ups. I showed the Illuminati definitely existed, and both George Washington and Thomas Jefferson talked about them. So this is not some imaginary thing. And are they still there? Are they the reason? And so many people want to blame the Jews and the Freemasons. I mean, there's always a group that they pick out. And I don't know that, but there's something there. And I use the quote from James Forrestal, who was
Just a quick little observation. Notice the two groups that he led with, and then quickly backtrack to say, like, brush it off, like, like, well, they always throw these two people in the mix, but then turn around and say, but it's something there. Of course, it's something there, right? Follow the money, right? And everything else I just said. Who can you not talk about, right? But he finna make some key points.
Harry Truman, Secretary of Defense, who they pushed out of a window at Bethesda Naval Hospital and claimed he jumped. He was the first critic of Israel, by the way. And he was good friends with Joe McCarthy, who this.
Notice what he said. The first critic of who? Okay. Psalms 83. Okay.
Book American Memory Hall, I helped restore his reputation because he's been treated very unfairly. But he told McCarthy at one point, he said, McCarthy, if there wasn't this giant grand conspiracy, once in a while they'd make a mistake in our favor. And I use that quote all the time, that if there was any randomness to this at all, things wouldn't always happen to benefit the same powerful interest. And they always do.
See, he giving you the answer. If it was coincidence, all of these different things that happened in the past, if it was coincidence, the music, if it was coincidence, the movies, if it was coincidence with the television shows, that wouldn't benefit the same people over and over and over and over again. But it does.
Thing always happens. Once in a while they'd say no to war, for instance, but they never do. And if they do, they're like JFK and they get killed for saying no to war over and over again. He's the last one that said no to war. But I think there are indications when you look at the yearly Bilderberg meetings. For a long time they tried to claim that this was imaginary, this crazy conspiracy theorists thinking that. Eventually, then you started having some of the conspiracy theorists sneaking into the Bilderberg conferences, and they realized, okay, well, we have to admit it exists. Now, most of the time, there's some high-profile national media figures that come, but they're sworn to not report about it. And keep in mind, Kim, you're talking about there were.
See what he said? They sworn to not report about it. Why? Who owns the news media?
Royalty attend these things all over the world. The chairman of the CEO of Fiat and it's General Motors, all these incredible corporate leaders, senators, always a few chosen ones, media, sometimes celebrities. Angelina Jolie is great for being at these things for some reason as an actress. You tell me why she's there. I don't know. But and what do they discuss? I mean, do they get together and just I don't know, talk about fantasy football? I don't. What would they talk about? And why wouldn't that be news? These are the same media figures that would break their neck to go photograph some celebrity's wedding, but they won't talk about it. That same thing with Bohemian Grove. Alex Jones very famously, and until he snuck in, what are you talking about? There's all these people are worshiping a giant stone owl. You're crazy. Well, he went in and filmed the giant stone owl. It's real, and they are worshiping it. He filmed the entire ceremony. It's an occult ceremony, and they're worshiping this giant owl. You tell me why. And do you know Walter Cronkite, the trusted voice? He was the voice of the owl at those ceremonies for decades. Nobody knows that, but these are not conspiracy theories. So I don't know why they would be doing that. And no women were ever allowed. No females, not even females couldn't even work there. And I didn't hear any feminists complain about that. And again, these are movie stars are there. Lots of people are there. And so at least those two things are kind of yearly confabs where they get together. I don't know that they sit there and discuss, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to launch COVID PSYOP, and this we're going to do. I don't think they do that. But when you mentioned, I don't think they need meetings for the most part, because when you go through, the same guy that you're talking about, the guy that recently has come out, I think he's the dean of Berkeley Law School, who's come out and said basically the Constitution is outlived its usefulness. The Bill of Rights goes too far and that kind of thing. And this is a dean of Berkeley Law School. Well, every kid that's gone through his class, and there's so many professors like that, are all those kids that go through they're completely brainwashed.
Now with the schools, right? These different professors and things that bring about different topics in their classrooms. They follow certain curriculums. What they speak about has to get okayed right? So for a professor to say that basically the Constitution and the Bill of Rights have ran its course, that means they are creating something new, right? But it's something old. Look on your dollar bill and you'll see it. New Order Seclorum, right? New Order of the Ages, right? Who who owns the money? Who created money? Who brought money to the daughter of Babylon? Paper money. Who did that? You need to look into this information because it all points to one villain. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Malachi 1. Esau Edom is the border of wickedness.
I mean, they're indoctrinated into that, so they don't have to be told that, hey, this is a conspiracy, and they know how. And that's why people that are obviously not part of any conspiracy, they would respond to me a particular way, and I'm familiar with it. They're going to respond with an argument or towards normalcy bias.
And no facts. People that, just being real, are dumb. The conspiracy theories are just that, conspiracy theories. There is no fact in them. It's just, people making excuses for how the world is. But like he said, once upon a time, the Bilderberg group was a conspiracy theory until somebody infiltrated the group and showed video of exactly what was going on. The Bohemian Grove was once a conspiracy theory until somebody infiltrated the grove and showed people on video exactly what's going on, right? So many things that were conspiracy theories that are not being brought to light. Why? Because it's time, man. We living in the time of revelation. The word revelation basically means to reveal, right? 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved, right? So, at the end of the day, man, everybody that needs to see it can see it. Everybody that needs to be blinded, you will be blinded until, you are destroyed. It kind of is what it is. It's written that way. Those of us that can see, count the blessings, right? Because scripture tells us, blessed are your eyes for they see and your ears for they hear, right? Matthew 13, right? But we can clearly see the devil for what he really is. We can clearly see this devil. And we can see the end of the devil's kingdom, right? So, I am with that, man. Yahweh Shemel Sharatazah. You were edified by this video and by these precepts. Call Haloyim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Harakakodash. Shalom, Yasha Allah.